Hello everybody, my name is Solo, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about, well, something that I've definitely seen a lot of people do. Now I don't know if it's in this one, but I believe this is one of the more popular ones. I might be wrong about that. But basically one type of thing that has happened when it comes to games, I might not be in the right type of game. No. I don't think so. Here, let me. But if you go into games and you type in the word RNG, you're gonna get met with a metric ton of games. There's like this one where it's like, oh yeah, Tralarero, which I'm guessing is just brain rot culture. A lot of these thumbnails feel like they're very AI generated. And basically, what this is people profiting on RNG games. So, for example, you go through, some of these aren't doing as well, right? But the big ones are, of course, like Souls RNG, Jules RNG, this RNG, and we'll go in and play these and we'll talk about these types of games. So, for example, we start out as this monstrosity, and then you roll, and these are all AI generated, by the way. So if you guys are like a person like I am that's against AI generated, then don't like, honestly, don't really support these games, to be honest. So like if I go in here, I sit there and equip this, yeah, like very much these are literally just AI generated things that people have seen, like that people have seen or like made, and they turn them into RNG games to get a quick buck off of them. Souls RNG and Jules RNG honestly are not really, like, from what I've heard, too terribly great. Then there's also like anime RNG. This is the one I was thinking of, Dungeon RNG, which is also like that. But another game that came out that people were like super excited for was this game, Hunters. If you don't know what Hunters is, it's basically supposed to be a solo leveling game, but the interesting part about it is that the quote-unquote solo leveling part of it is an RNG game. You guys are probably sitting there wondering, like, what do you mean it's an RNG game? So if I go in here and I start, you know, as you can see, I have a stick, right? And there's like rank up, and then limited time Easter event, which that looks kind of like if it's Persona. There's also apparently a free game pass, which, yeah. Anyway, so if you hit roll, yeah, you roll on literal weapons. No, I am not kidding you. You are playing a solo leveling game, a game that's very much always like, solo leveling's always been about, like, you know, actually making progress and stuff, and like being able to, you know, progress as a higher, like, or like at higher chances of like loot and everything else. Is basically kind of like your MMO type anime, where, like, for example, for me, I've been an MMO RPG person before. But basically, this is literally the epitome of, hey, what happens if we throw RNG into a random game that people would play and see what happens? That's basically what it is. And that's basically what a majority of these games are, is, well, standing here, clicking a thing to roll over and over and over again. Souls RNG, Jules RNG do the same thing. And honestly, To be honest with you, I'm very tired of it recommending me RNG stuff just because I played one RNG game like back in the day, which was RNG Tower Defense. Like, for example, now we have RNG Anime Trainer, and then you sit there, you roll, and it gives you something like Deku. Okay, so I have Deku now. I go to my units. Right, and then you have now a hide button. You hit equip best, and oh, look at this. It's a, not only is it a RNG game, it's also a bandit beater. Actually, I wouldn't really call it a bandit beater. It's more like a kind of face-off type game. Bandit beater is more you play the game and just bandit beaters is what people would call like Dragon Soul and stuff like that. That's what people would call a bandit beater game. Whereas like these games are very much just there to tap into like the gambling addict that people are on the inside, right? Trust me, we always like somebody always has some sort of thing with gambling. Like for example, me, I sit there and I'll sit there and I think the only RNG game I played religiously was an RNG Tycoon game, but that was just because the developers were chill and like they're like, yeah, we're not like super primarily focused on it, like we have other things that we're doing, but we are still gonna update it eventually. That wasn't anywhere near the end, and I thought it was a pretty cool game. But nowadays a lot of these RNG games are very soulless, very kind of like the same thing over and over and over again. There's a few options for your RNG game. It's either an RNG game that you roll and try to get like some sort of fighter from. It's another where you're just trying to roll to get an aura, and like people don't realize that some of these RNG games very much so will disguise themselves as something else. Like I would consider something like Fish and games along the lines of those also RNG games, just the roll mechanic is different. So instead of hitting the roll button like I do here, right, in Fish I would go fishing for higher items. And of course in most RNG games they have you craft things that make your RNG better. In Fish those are like very much different things, including but not limited to like Robux boosts and things like that. And to be honest with you, if I had to be very, I guess, specific, I think RNG games are also the reason why Roblox has turned into kind of more of people throwing out kind of just whatever they feel like, because a lot of people go IP chasing and just what's popular. That's why you're seeing, like, if I go out of here, right, and I type in just the word rails, you have dead rails, you have cursed sails, you have frozen rails, which if you notice that brain rot guy is on there. There's frost rails, snowy rails, tank rails, dead rails modded, rails unlimited, which is a completely different game, sprunky rails, iced rails, frozen rails, forest rails, dreadline, wild rails, a dusty trip, which is from someone else, rails of dead, dead rivers, dead rails but bad, surviving kill dead rails in Area 51. Dead rails elevator, dead rails but modded. Dead sails. Dead rails survival. Dead rails tycoon 2 player. Army roads. Dead rails tower obby. Dead rails tycoon. Dead world. Dead rails 200 years later. Like, very much so, this game got popular and then turned around and spawned like a bajillion copies. And again, a lot of people are very much chasing that, and you'll like, it's not just those type of games too. You're also going to see a lot of these, which is brain rot evolution, which is basically those AI pictures again. Which, by the way, again, don't support those if you actually care about, you know, actual artists instead of these AI, no effort BS that's coming out nowadays. But a lot of TD games also fall into the same thing of like chasing an IP or chasing an update. Like, one thing I saw very much is like, when Squid Game was a thing, and I commented about it when it became a thing. When Squid Game became a thing, everything on Roblox is doing it. Now, recently I heard Legos being added to like Fish and a bunch of other stuff, and I'm sitting here like, okay, how long until every other game has a Lego update? Or like, with anime games, very much so, there's like a chance that the anime games all start having some similar updates, or, you know, things that are the same. Now, luckily, a lot of the anime games stopped doing this, but they did at one point start having like the same similar updates. Another thing is like bandit beaters. Like, bandit beaters is a really common practice in Roblox, but yeah, I've gone on my tangent enough. Basically, what I'm trying to say is one of the biggest things that became a like thing that people played is RNG games. Now, RNG games does not just mean anything that says RNG in the title. There's a lot of RNG games, whether it be like rolling different rarities, rolling different like items. These all can take effect. But it's also one of the biggest trends that has kind of changed Roblox, probably in my opinion more for the worse than it has for the better, because there's a lot of things that RNG helps with, like for example making it so then you have infinite possibilities to, you know, chain together stuff, but it also means that people very much are just gonna like do some of the most low effort stuff in the game. So yeah, this is one of those things. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, as always, hit the like button, comment down below what you guys think. What do you guys think of RNG games? Like I said, it's very hit and miss for me. Most of the time I don't really do a lot of RNG games, but I do a lot of incremental games because I like the whole upgrading, like upper and upper and upper. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so then you guys never miss a video. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.